Happy wife, happy life.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jeremy Moore, and I'd like to welcome everyone to tonight's More Success Team Zoom call. We got an absolutely outstanding call lined up for you guys tonight. And hey, I'm back. I can actually speak this evening. My voice isn't scratchy, and that's a very, very, very good thing. Want to give a special shout out and kudos to Barbara Manley Wilson. Last night they conducted our Getting Started Right call for the team. They had a phenomenal turnout, did a great job. Thank you guys for stepping up. Stephanie and I were out of pocket. Our little man Creed, he started baseball season this past weekend, and the little toot, he started the first game for his little travel team, and he went out and threw a no-hitter, which was pretty cool. And their team won the championship. So that's a little bonus. But anyway, guys, welcome tonight. And like I said, we got a phenomenal call lined up for you guys tonight. But before we get into that, I want to give a couple of shout outs. But before we do that, let's go straight out to our main man, Mr. Jimmy Parrish out of the great state of Alabama, our Benjamin Franklin Society council member, and to give you guys a quick solutions update. Mr. Parrish, take it away, my friend.
Thank you, Jeremy. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear.
Great. And yes, Stephanie did have her camera on last week. I was watching that too, Steph. So we monitor those things when he's trying to trip you up. A couple of things. I'll be brief because we want to get to Mr. Malloy, but I want to remind all of you about the Blitz tomorrow. I even saw Joe's name on there last week, calling in there from Mass. That's great. Not even in my region, but I see in the Moore team represented up in the Northeast. That was great. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you need to text the word Blitz to 844-471-1400. That's a new number. But we had a record crowd last week. We almost had 4,000 calls attempted in the 2-hour period, booked over 150 appointments out of that time period that wouldn't have been booked had people not been calling in. If you want to know more information about that, just text that word Blitz to that toll-free number, and you only have to do it once, and they'll send you information about it. 10 a.m. to 12 noon Central. They always give giveaway cards, $25 gift cards just for participating, and there's excellent training afterwards. So be sure you note that. Also, the most important solutions training call of every month now happens on the second Wednesday of every month, and that's the Solutions Expo. It's Wednesday, 4 to 6 p.m. Central Time. You can put it down, second Wednesday of every month. So put it on your calendar, 4 to 6 Central. And we have Mr. Brian Carruthers as the guest trainer. And no, I didn't stay out in the sun, even though it was 70 degrees and wonderful here today and got too much sun. And I said Brian Carruthers and Solutions in the same sentence, and that is a true statement. But Mike Riches will be interviewing him and talking about his team and Solutions, and he'll be training with us this coming Wednesday. There'll be a lot of recognition corporate-wide for Solutions people that have excelled in the month of February. To just register one time and be on these from now on, you just go to solutionswebinar.com. There's an S on solution. There's not an S on webinar. Solutionswebinar.com. You'll get notified 24 hours and 1 hour prior to those webinars every month. There's a special new groups opener community outreach incentive where we're recognizing new groups open in March and April. But normally you have to get $100 in premium to be recognized. For these 2 months only, you only have to get $50 in premium for a new group to be counted in this special bonus incentive. And you can earn up to $5,000 over and above your commissions and any other bonuses in place. Last announcement I'll make, and then I'll turn it back over to Mr. Moore tonight, and that is each week we're having level 1 or level 2 training. The one this particular Friday is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central, led by our Vice President of Training, Mr. Mike Riches, and it will get you certified so that you can open your own groups and take advantage of these particular bonuses that I've mentioned. Back to you, Mr. Moore. We'll look forward to hearing from Mr. Malloy tonight.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Parrish. Great job as always. And I highly recommend that you reach out to those folks that are in the solution space and plug them into the Blitz tomorrow. the ones that have been plugging in, the results speak for themselves, and definitely want to take advantage of that. Another newsletter came out yesterday, and once again, you guys never cease to amaze me. And the number one recruiters in all of Legal Shield last week from the More Success team out of the great state of Arizona, Mark and Leslie Udi. Congratulations, guys. Number one doesn't get much higher than number one. So congratulations for that. And top premium riders last week in all of Legal Shield, checking in at number 12 in the entire company, Miss Lisa Streeter out of the great state of Georgia. So congratulations, Miss Streeter. And also special congratulations to Lisa. Her son, her baby boy, just turned 18 a few short months ago, hit director today. He's a brand new executive or director on the More Success team. So congratulations, Devin, on that. And right now, guys, we got some other things we're going to talk about, but without further ado, we need to get into the heart of the call today, what you guys have been waiting on, what we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now. Somebody that I truly have the utmost admiration from and for, somebody that started out just like you, right at if you're a brand new associate, just a handful of years ago, just like you, and just really bought into the system and personal development and growth, and to go from that onto the Platinum World Council, onto a current member of the Circle of Champions, and doing phenomenal things, a multi-millionaire because of the opportunity from Legal Shield. I'll let him tell you a little bit more about his story, but it's my honor and privilege tonight to introduce my friend from the great state of New York, Mr. Cliff Malloy. Welcome, Cliff.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Jeremy. Can you guys hear me okay?
Loud and clear, brother.
Yeah, even though the technology's changed, we still got these same habits from conference calls, right, Jeremy? I want to thank everybody. I see a lot of great friends here on the Zoom. Mr. Samaniego, Keith and Amelia Wan, of course, Jeremy and Stephanie Moore, Jeremy Parrish. What's up, man? And so really excited. Joe Welsh, yes, indeed. So excited to be here on the Moore Team Success Call. And I'm honored. I know many of you maybe know, maybe knew, Miss Streeter. I can't forget Miss Streeter. How you doing, Miss Streeter? Congratulations on your success. Many may be relatively new and may not be familiar with my story. I'll share that very quickly. I've been involved in Legal Shield for 22 years now. I started in my 30s. Actually, I started in my mid-30s. Goodness gracious. I started Legal Shield in my mid-30s. I've been here for 22 years. I'm not yet 40. Don't try to worry about the physics and how that works out. It's just Legal Shield. You don't age when you're having fun. That's what it is. But actually, this is my birthday month. Next Tuesday is my birthday. So I celebrate another year. Which one it is, I won't tell you. But but the fact is, when I was first exposed to Legal Shield, it was actually 2 years before I joined the business. It was 2 years before I became an independent associate. I was working two jobs. I had a full-time job and a part-time job. And with both jobs, I still didn't have enough money to pay all my bills. I had three young sons that I jokingly say got used to eating a lot. Well, they got accustomed to eating on a regular basis. They always have eaten a lot, still today eat a lot. And the fact is, I just didn't have enough money to pay all my bills, child support, everything I needed to, all of my responsibilities and obligations. Every month, something got left behind. And I really didn't have any other option, that I could think of, because I already had two jobs, the full-time and part-time job. And I didn't want to do anything outside of what I believe was my personal integrity at that time. So any other illegal money activities was just out of the question, just being transparent with you. And, but I was exposed to this business because someone at my full-time job stopped me one day and asked me this question that I had never heard before. He said, "Hey, do you keep your options open about making money?" I had never heard that before. Now today, that's like, that is the question, right? I mean, in this industry, but I'd never heard it. He stopped me in my tracks and I said, sure, what's going on? And he went on to tell me about a company called Legal Shield. Now, to be transparent, at the time, it was called Prepaid Legal Services. But whether it was Prepaid Legal or Legal Shield, it really didn't matter because I heard the term legal. And when I heard that term, I thought he was looking for someone that wanted to be a lawyer. And I was a little intimidated because I had never been to college. And I thought that was a step necessary to be a lawyer. I didn't explain it to him because we worked at the same job and it just wasn't important. Well, I didn't think it was any of his business for him to know that I had not been to college. As a matter of fact, I can share with you all that I didn't even finish high school. I have a GED. Now it's no big deal. It is what it is. I'm not necessarily proud that I didn't finish high school, but I don't care because I make a lot of money. So, so there you go. The end goal has been reached. So with that, the fact is, I was intimidated. So I just told him no, out of fear that he would invite me to some event, and he did. And then I wouldn't be qualified and they would ask me to leave because I wasn't qualified. That was going through my mind. So I just told him no. 2 years later, a friend of mine that I'd known for 8 years, he called me. He was in Dallas. I'm in New York. I was in New York at the time. And he said, Cliff, have you ever heard of Legal Shield? Again, prepaid legal. I said, yeah, man, I don't think it's for me. He said, really? He said, there's people doing this part-time, some without high school educations, making $100,000 a year from home. Now, when he made that statement, you already know, the high school thing for me. When he made that statement, he had known me for 8 years and did not know I didn't finish high school because the conversation might have come up, but I always avoided it, changed it, or walked away from the conversation before it would go there for me personally. And I knew he was being sincere, but I was curious, how was it possible someone can make that kind of money in the legal field without a formal education? So my curiosity, although I'm not interested, led to asking questions like, what is it? How does it work? What would somebody have to do? What's involved? How much does it cost? All the typical questions someone who might be interested would ask. And he said, Cliff, there's nothing I can say that's more powerful than what you're going to see. Isn't that hot? And he said that, and he said, I'm going to send you a video. Now, of course, today, we just basically pick up our phone, open up Prospect by Legal Shield, and I would have a video in literally a few seconds. No, but back then it was the VHS videotape. And he sent that to me, and I got that video. I watched it. The first time I saw it, I'll be honest with you, it went a little bit over my head. But I said, Patrick is so excited about this. Let me watch it again. The second time I watched it, it made a little more sense to me. The monthly fee, the service, the lawyers. But what really got me was this. I'm not a salesperson. I don't like sales. I'm not a big sales guy. Even today, I'm not really a big sales thing. It's not, I understand the concept, of course, but it's not about sales. When I saw the video, I realized that I didn't have to be a salesperson. I don't have to go to court. I don't have to be a lawyer. I don't need a formal education to press play. I can do this. I can actually do this because I can press play. So I took that very video out there and did exactly what we ask our new associates not to do, is test the business. So before I actually got started, I actually was showing that video to people in my own market research. And people were receptive to the video. They was like, this is a pretty good idea. What is this? How long has it been around? And my response was, there's nothing I can say that's more powerful than what you can see. Let me get one of my partners on the line and he'll answer some of your questions. And I would get Patrick on the phone with these people. I was getting them on the phone and doing three-way calls before I even really understood that was a process of building the business. And before I actually spent the money, it was more than 99, it was 249. It was actually before I spent the money to become an associate. But because I had a couple of people that were ready to get the membership, I figured it was worth the investment. Now, the problem for me, guys, if you don't mind me sharing, is that I didn't have, at the time, $249 to become an independent associate. Remember, Jeremy, when it was $249, right? It seemed like millions of years ago, and it was. But I didn't have the money, but I did have rent due. And I actually had the rent money to pay my landlord. So I borrowed the $249 from my landlord. Now, it was a loan that wasn't authorized by my landlord. But that's how I got started in Legal Shield. And thank goodness everything worked out because I'm here today, 22 years later, because of that videotape. And today we do the same thing we did then. We just use different tools, right? The concept is the same. The technique changes because of the tool or the technology, but the concepts are all the same. Is there any particular thing that you'd like me to go into, Mr. Moore, and sharing with this incredible team? Because as I watched people join in, I saw so many diversified, unbelievably, incredibly successful leaders here. Congratulations to the Udis, by the way, my friends on the network vice presidents group. We appreciate your leadership. Anything that you'd like me to share specifically?
Well, Cliff, Mr. Malloy, I really think that they hear it from us all the time, but hearing it from you, building your business on the fundamental principle of making Performance Club that's the foundation of your business. I know you feel like I do, and just give you, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but just kind of give your thoughts on that and how you accomplish that, and what by focusing on that, what it's done for you and your business, your team. And I mean, you're on the Platinum for Life. I mean, you're cashing 6-figure checks every 12 months now. Now it's multiple 6-figure checks because of that. But anyway, go ahead.
Man, thank you so much because you're absolutely right. And if you allow me to be real, personal about Performance Club, I wasn't always the biggest proponent of Performance Club. In other words, I understood the value of it, but I wasn't the guy who was consistently qualifying for Performance Club. So it was rare for you to hear me actually speak about it. I didn't feel like I was qualified to stand from a position of strength that you need to be Performance Club qualified. And, folks then would ask me immediately, well, how many months you been in Performance Club, Mr. Malloy? Let's talk about something else, right? Let me talk about this other area of building your business. But the fact is, I realized sometime several years ago, quite a few years ago now, I realized that in order to build a solid marketing organization, and I'm talking about if you want to be consistently qualifying today, senior director and executive director. Back when I decided this, we didn't have a senior director position, but in order to be consistently qualifying at these higher bonus levels, and listen, you do want to qualify consistently as senior director and executive director because there's a lot of money there for doing the same thing. I mean, being a director versus an executive director, there's like 8 times more income for the exact same volume as an executive director versus being a director. So if there's more money there for the same volume, why not, work to qualify for to be there? And I realized by looking at the numbers and looking at the basics of network marketing, the basic tenet of network marketing, anyone that knows me for any period of time has heard me say this a million times, is a lot of people doing a little bit and you earn a small percentage off the whole volume. It's a lot of people doing a little bit. So think about our business model for a minute, right? And I'm going to get back to Performance Club specifically. Our business model is the majority of people who start in Legal Shield start on a part-time or spare time basis. They have a full-time gig, they have a family potentially or possibly, or potentially, I mean, it could be a young couple just getting started out in life, but they're doing Legal Shield not as their primary source of income. It's a second source of income, right? And we often promote it that way, right? A second income without having a second job. And so they have to have the faith. They have to basically feel and believe they can build a business from a part-time or spare time effort. And that's where a lot of people doing a little bit. The little bit is the activity. The result is Performance Club. And what's phenomenal is that if you can help someone believe they can do Performance Club every month by just doing 2 exposures, or what Mr. Don Thompson refers to as engagements, right? Engagement is different than an exposure. Exposure is just getting the information in front of people. And now you want to work to help them engage with the information, right? Have them actually take a look at it, be exposed to the exposure, so to speak. But doing 2 of those a day will definitely have you be Performance Club qualified. This is something that everyone can do, right? And therefore, if everyone can do it, it's easy to do. It's easy to do what you can do, and you can do 2 a day. You have to, it's a choice. And sometimes it's so simple. It seems so simple that 2 exposures a day can't build me a 6-figure annual or, or a 6-figure monthly income, right? They got to be doing something else, right? I mean, you would never think that Brian Carruthers and Darnell Self and Jeremy and Stephanie Moore built this massive business on 2 a day, but they have. They have. I mean, yeah, sure, there was times when they did a lot more than 2 in a day, but the bottom line is that we've all built this massive business on 2 a day, every day, over a period of time, right? So it takes a certain consistency over time as you share it with people. But what's powerful is you mentioned the word foundation, Mr. Moore, and it's the foundation of the activity that leads to the foundation of the result, which is Performance Club. We consistently edify that position. And what's phenomenal is that it's something that everybody can do. So I often say, and not me, it's not my quote, but I say it a lot because I'm so impressed by it and impacted by this, that you don't just attract what you want, you ultimately attract who you become. So for me, I decided that I must be Performance Club, not just get Performance Club done every month. I am Performance Club. I have to be the embodiment of what Performance Club is. And therefore, I need to engage in the activities on a regular basis to be Performance Club, and never less than that. Of course, that also encompasses Performance Club PC Pro, and the bottom line is that now that I am Performance Club, I do that thing on a regular basis. I'm now empowered to teach it, right? I have a position of strength to say, you can be Performance Club. You should be Performance Club. If your goal is to ultimately build a big business, even on a part of spare time basis, you can do Performance Club. But what's phenomenal is that when I help them develop the belief on the faith that if they do this, they can ultimately get this, right? Because you got to show the bigger picture, as well as help them understand why they're doing this little thing. Because right now it's just a little thing, but you got to see what that little effort can lead to, right? That little effort can lead to. And the bigger picture and the bigger incomes from this little effort, so that we continue to work in faith, right? Work in faith that if I do this thing, ultimately it will turn into this thing, but I got to be faithful in the activity now, right? To basically be able to get that fruit later on. And you do the thing, then you teach the thing, and then you teach others how to teach the thing. You build a foundation of just a few Performance Club qualifiers in your organization, and soon you'll be consistently qualifying, right? Because even as a brand new associate, you get to core rank, which is the manager position. That's $400 in premium and 3 associates. So you're right at the beginning of building the foundation of the structure of your business, right? Because really it's structure and production. So structure and production. You need 3 solid legs to build to executive director. Actually, you could build beyond executive director, but you need at least 3 solid legs to build to executive director. Why? Because you need to have 3 manager organizations to become a solid director and senior manager, and then of course ultimately an executive director. But what's phenomenal is that it starts at that core rank, and when you can help someone see the vision to get to core rank through Performance Club, them doing it, and then recruiting a few other folks who also do it, then you're going to build your premium in your organization. So you got the structure, and now you have the production through 2 things: fast start qualification drives premium, and Performance Club drives consistency in that same premium. So of course, a brand new associate wants to aspire to be fast start qualified. They're going to earn those bonuses. And then you help share the goal a little over the horizon, which is the manager position, which is core rank, right? It's a little bit over the horizon. But what's exciting is that they may not be able to see manager in their mind and their belief right now, but you want to help them feel like they're getting closer. When you get to senior associate, you'll be halfway there to the manager level. So you'll know that you're on the way to getting there. And along the way, you want to Performance Club qualify as you do the activity. You will have and build a solid producing organization along the way. As a matter of fact, I don't know how much time I have, Mr. Moore. Can I share 5 minutes of something real quick?
Absolutely. And I have one more question, and absolutely. You have.
Oh, please go ahead. Ask the question, and then I might share it along the way.
Well, it's not my question. We have two of our top leaders that really attribute a lot of their success from being personally mentored by you. And they had a quick question for you. And so let me turn it over to them, and then absolutely you have enough time to get into what you want to close with. So right now I want to go out to now the state of Pennsylvania and to Mr. Keith Wan.
Thank you so much.
Oh, Mr. Wan.
Hey now, come on now. Mr. Malloy, you have been. It's no, we tell everybody you've been so instrumental and so valuable in our growth and in our success. And you are team neutral. You are the epitome, the definition of team neutral. I never knew what team you were on, because when I first saw you 8 years ago, you were at Amelia Family Retreat and you were the guest speaker, right? And so it wasn't until years later when I moved up to New York, I even found out who your upline was, because you and all of your leadership positions, but also just who you are, you take people who are willing to work and you pour into them. You've poured into us so much. And so now that as we're growing and as you have identified, we have a lot of leaders here on this group who are also growing our teams. What are some skills that we can pour into our team and help find leaders and foster them and grow them some more?
Man, Mr. Wan, I appreciate you and Amelia and your phenomenal family, your beautiful family. We miss you guys. We miss you guys. But what's exciting is that you're right. I think I've always been that way, because we're all one family, the Legal Shield family. And the fact is, when you're in a particular environment, a state, and at that, you're specifically speaking to as a network vice president, you have I was given the responsibility and appointed to build the business in New York metro area and New Jersey specifically, and everyone in the state, regardless of what your organization, it doesn't matter whose team you're on, we're all one family. Nothing succeeds like success. And you want to build an environment of success in the local area, and everyone's a part of that. It's universal. If you help enough people get what they want, you'll get what you want. And it's not, and Zig Ziglar didn't say, if you help enough people directly in your money line, he said, no, if you help enough people get what they want, anywhere, everywhere, in and outside of your family, because we're all family, right? I mean, you may not all be my children. We're cousins, we're aunts and uncles, and like that. Most of you, as I get younger in Legal Shield, will, and, be my senior. But the fact is, Mr. Wan, there's just a lot of love. I mean, a lot of love for everybody in Legal Shield. When you're in this family, sometimes Legal Shield is so big, so well respected globally. It's not until there's a threat from an outside force, like some other company or something like that, then you realize, we got to lock arms, against this outside threat trying to recruit us into the BS, so to speak. Not everybody's BS out there. I'm just saying most are. So we got something real here. We have a real product offered by a real company with a real need. We can make some real money. And we just got to show some real compassion for everybody else that's out here doing it. And we have to be that thing, so we attract what we are. Thank you, Mr. Wan, for that. We appreciate you, man. I love you. And that's absolutely phenomenal. And to close out, guys, I just want to share just this one thing. I'll be as quick as I can with it. But folks ask me all the time, what are some of the philosophies that you use to build your business? First of all, I like to have fun and keep it simple. But everything you need to be successful in Legal Shield, you learned by the time you finish third grade. So everything you need to learn, everything you need to be successful in Legal Shield, you learned by the time you finish third grade. So what are some of the things you learned by the time you finish third grade? Show and tell. Show and tell. Remember, everybody remember show and tell? Everybody remember show and tell, right? You come back from kindergarten, or a vacation, Christmas vacation, show and tell, right? We all know show and tell. We don't have to go out and sell. We just show and tell, right? We show the plan and we tell the story. We show the legal plan and tell the stories how people have used it to help move them forward in their life, because it's a life event plan. It's a forever life event plan. We show and tell. We show the opportunity and share how people have succeeded with it. Show and tell, not go out and sell. So that's one of the things that we learned by the time we finish third grade that can support you in your success in Legal Shield. What's another thing that we learned? How to read, right? How to read. By the time you hit third grade, you got the reading thing down. You can work your way through most things, right? In Legal Shield, you don't have to be the story. You share the story. You share the story from, I don't have a flip book in my reach right now, but you share the story from, in other words, it shouldn't ever come from you. You shouldn't be explaining how the membership works. We have the phenomenal app, Prospect Legal Shield, right? So I share the story, I share the plan, I show and tell, I show the plan, tell the story, and then I send the information to them so they can see it. Or if I'm reading something, I'm reading from a flip book or placemat brochure, I'm not from my own mouth, right? So that's really important. The third thing, moving really quick, is simple math, right? You learn that by the time you finish third grade. I mean, by third grade, for me, I started learning the times tables in third grade. By the time third grade was done, I got the times tables down. I don't know what kind of math they're teaching today, because I can't even help my kids, my younger ones. I can't help them with their homework. So the fact is, simple math is key, right? Simple math, of course, we're talking about addition, subtraction, multiplication, right? Now, subtraction is advanced recovery, chargebacks, right? You need to understand that. We don't have to teach it to everybody right away, but you need to understand it, that if you write good business, you'll have a high retention. You write bad business, you'll have a low retention, and you may suffer from advanced recovery. But it's addition and multiplication that are the key to building your business. You add members to your business. You personally add members to your business. You personally, through your efforts and activity, add new associates to your business. And if you don't get good at addition, you'll never have multiplication happening, because when someone on your team that you added, they add someone else to their team. That means your business now is growing through multiplication, right? When someone on your team adds a new member, you're growing through multiplication. When someone on your team adds a new associate, your business is growing through multiplication. That's powerful, simple math. You learn that by the time you finish third grade. The power of simplicity in this business is so important. It's undersung. Success in Legal Shield is 2 times 2, right? What's 2 times 2? It's 4. But sometimes, the simplicity is overlooked for things that legal services, identity theft protection, that seems a little more complex. No, keep it simple. How do I explain a complex concept? By pressing play and letting people see a video. I don't have to explain all this legal mumbo jumbo, right? I don't have to explain how the identity theft plan works when I can press a video and let someone else explain it, right? So I just press play. I keep it 2 times 2. Sometimes people join Legal Shield and they make this the issue. They become the issue. And whatever they do is so complex, it's not easily followed, or it can't be duplicated or replicated or repeated. That's a challenge. And if you find yourself growing a business and then your team falls apart, you grow in a business and your team falls apart, is because what you're doing is not so simple that they can easily follow, right? You might be the issue. Let's follow and point to the system. The last thing that we learned by the time we finished third grade is how to get along with others, how to play nice in the sandbox. Now, no more sandboxes, but we got to learn how to play nice, right? Interpersonal skills, right? Listen, you're not born a people person. You develop into a people person. Some people are aided by the environment that they grow up in, the family. I mean, if Keith and Amelia Wan were my parents, there's no doubt I would become a people person too. You cannot love other humans if you're hanging around with the Wans for very long, right? So some people grow up in that environment. Some people have to learn that environment. For me, It wasn't necessarily that way for me. I decided I wanted to be successful. And I read somewhere or I listened to a tape, I can't point out exactly where, that you have to basically develop people skills. It might have been Dale Carnegie training, the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. I actually worked for Dale Carnegie training in the early 90s for a little bit of time. So that was a big influence on me. But you have to become a people person if you want to grow a people business, right? So how to get along with others is really critical, because if you want to build a large marketing organization, you're going to have different personalities, right? You're going to have different personalities. You can have different viewpoints, different politics, different religions, and you all want to get along together, right? So you have to have the ability to be able to get along with everybody and everybody's viewpoint. Sometimes in some organizations, you'll have all these multiple personalities in one person. Everybody, I think every team has a Sybil associate. And if you don't know what Sybil is, you got to Google it, look it up. It's an old movie. Anyway, so moving on. That's all I wanted to say about that. And of course, there's the recruiting. But ladies and gentlemen, and I'm excited. Thank you for having me. I got to tell you, when you have fun, the time goes by so quickly. Jeremy and Stephanie Moore, thank you so much for your friendship, for your professionalism, for your integrity, and for all you do for all of us at Legal Shield. We love you to death. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Malloy. That was absolutely fantastic. And guys, we did record Mr. Malloy's training tonight. So look forward to that when we share it on our Facebook page, so that you make sure that there's only, was there 98 of you guys plugged in tonight. So there's literally thousands more that need to hear this message. And Cliff, Mr. Malloy, thank you, my friend. Much success to you in the future. If there's anything that we can do from the More Success Team standpoint for you or your team, just don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you so much. God bless you all. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you. God bless. Love you all. Let's go make it happen.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, guys. That was absolutely phenomenal. Cliff killed it as always. Want to remind you guys of all the phenomenal events going on in the month of March. I know many of you all are a part of March Madness teams out there. And for you all that are captains, you have your own teams, or you're a part of a team, or whatnot, we're having a More Success Team March Madness call tomorrow morning at 10 Central Time, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're a participant at all, you need to be on that call. 10 a.m. and dial in. It's the exact same Zoom that you're on tonight. So let's make that happen. With that being said, guys, we've started March off strong. We're 75% ahead of where we were as an organization this month compared to where we were at this point in February. And you guys all know in February, we were 40% up on what we did all of January. So I'm just saying right now, you guys are killing it. We're doing some great things. The excitement is at an all-time high in the world of Legal Shield. So remember, plug in tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time. We got some special things we want to talk about. And with that being said, next Monday night, we got a special training that you definitely want all of your folks, especially those new folks, plugged into next Monday night, because we're going to get into some systems, some specific systems and how to use it next Monday night. And you do not want to miss that training. Obviously, continue to plug your new folks in on Sunday night calls. The folks that are plugging their people into the Sunday night Getting Started Right training calls at 8 p.m. Central Time, those organizations that are consistently plugging in, they are double-digit power team recruiting right now. That's just the numbers are the numbers. It's a fact. You want your new people doing things the right way and launching their business the right way. So continue to promote, and hey, let's be a full participant associate. If you got people on, why don't you dial in and get on as well? All right. So with that being said, we'll wrap things up by our core foundation of the More Success Team. And first and foremost, it'll never change as long as I'm here. And that is always number one. Keep your God number one in life. God is the most important thing. Your family second, and Legal Shield third, where it belongs. Everything else takes care of itself. God bless you all. Let's have a phenomenal week. Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everybody. Awesome call.
Good night. Good night.